What we're going to be talking about is something that I think is actually even more impactful and almost hits every contractor out there, and that's how do you actually run a business and stay married? I'm not here to hear how awesome things are. I want to know the actual truth. Has there been rough patches? How have you dealt with it? How can these guys, if they're dealing with a rough patch, what can they expect?
I just went to shut it off and to talk about something else. Like when you're at home, you're at dinner, everything's about work, and sometimes you may lose your identity. Like, well, as a couple,
Because you're managing 30 plus people every single day as a team. So when these guys are out there and they're managing people, they can go, hey, you know what? The strategies these guys are using to manage a $5 million business running 30 plus people, I can now implement. You guys have an atypical business model.
Yeah,
So
we
talk
have
to me
our
about
business
that.
model is this. So we attempted that at first, and we found that half the customers were happy, and the other half the customers were not happy at all, or happy with what they had. And as a small business starting out, even growing to a mid-sized business company, losing half your customers is a bad deal.
Their wife is, their wife is the head of the household and maybe not as involved in the business. What I do with my wife is I use her as a consultant. It's the one way we come together without, okay, she's 9 to 5 inside my business, she's not, 9 to 5 inside my company. She's more of an outside consultant to help me.
Love that.
And she knows how I operate, so she's gonna know how to speak to me, right?
absolutely.
And so
And there's ups and downs in business, and early on in working together, you have to navigate through the challenges of whose position, whose opinion is should be implemented. who's
action.
right.
Remember, your wife is not, your significant other is not the person that is your dumping ground. They are not there to hear all of your problems. They are there to support you. They are there to balance you out and build you up. But if all you're doing is dumping on them, they're not going to be able to help you fulfill your role. Am I right or wrong on this, or what do you guys think?
Absolutely. Women just want to feel, they want to feel like they're half or even like they're 60%. So even if they're half, treat them like they're 60, 70%.
All right, guys, in just a moment, we're going to be meeting with Rob and Michelle and hearing how they built their business from scratch, running 30 plus people today, doing over $5 million per year. The real trials, tribulations, and the strategies that they've used. But this isn't just their story. If you guys have learned how to manage and cope with running a business and staying married and being successful in that, that's a strategy that I'm asking you to please share in the comments down below, because this is a topic that is a sore spot for a lot of contractors out there, because their marriages are not doing as well as Rob and Michelle's are. They're struggling, and the strategies that you guys are finding that are successful, please share down below. So without wasting more time, let's get into today's story with Rob and Michelle from Blades Direct. All right, you guys. I'm with the Blades Direct guys, but we're not going to be talking about blades. We're not going to be talking about jobs. What we're going to be talking about is something that I think is actually even more impactful and almost hits every contractor out there, and that's how do you actually run a business and stay married? These guys have been doing this. This is Rob and Michelle. Guys, say hi to these guys.
Hi, guys.
For you guys that don't know who Rob and Michelle are, I've been buying blades from you guys for how long now?
Gosh, forever, 15 years.
15 years. These guys, some of you guys have maybe heard me say this before, but I haven't bought a concrete saw in
Decade.
yeah, I haven't bought a concrete saw in a decade, because I buy all my blades from you guys and they got this bundle deal, but we're not here to talk about that bundle. What these guys did agree to do is talk about their journey together building this business. How long ago did you guys build this business? How long ago did you start it?
The business was founded, we got into the business in about 1999, and Blades Direct was founded in the 2011.
Okay. What do you do for them?
For Blades Direct?
Yes.
I oversee everything from product development, sales, and marketing.
Okay. And Michelle, what do you do for
I
them?
do logistics. He's the front face of the company, and I'm the back face.
Okay. So you guys are both the owners.
Yes.
Okay, so that's the important thing. So you guys have worked together for how many years now?
15 years.
How's that been?
Amazing.
It's actually great.
It's actually great. Okay, so this is kind of different because a lot of guys aren't experiencing what you guys may be experiencing. Has it always been great? Come on, you guys I'm not here to hear how awesome things are. I want to know the actual truth. Has there been rough patches? How have you dealt with it? How can these guys, if they're dealing with a rough patch, what can they expect?
Stan, there's ups and downs in business, and early on in working together, you have to navigate through the challenges of whose position, whose opinion is should be implemented, who's right and who's wrong, and
Whose strengths where?
who has the better strengths. And usually the best result, the best feedback is to always let your wife kind of follow her lead.
Okay.
And if things go wrong, then never say I told you so, but then circle back around and redevelop the idea or program that you originally started out to. But there's been ups and downs. Mostly we've learned that there's no insulting and respecting everyone's position and opinion, and that's really the key.
Okay.
I would say that, just when to shut it off and to talk about something else. Like when you're at home, you're at dinner, everything's about work. And sometimes you may lose your identity. Like, well, as a couple, if we don't have this work that's bonding us together, then what are we here for? So it's good to kind of, when you're somewhere, just unplug and just make that about each other. And that's working for
That
us.
sounds really tough, but that's really smart. Do you have like a strategy to unplug? I mean, because to turn work off.
Tougher for me.
Okay.
It's tougher for him, but for me, I do. I have a daughter. I do like volunteering, or I try to get involved in that. So I kind of have that as my outlet, and it's not 24/7 Blades Direct. But yeah, I mean the good news is we can work on stuff late at night, and we can help customers late at night and solve problems late at night and think of great ideas late at night. And then the downside is, if we're out somewhere late at night and we're out with a friend, I don't think they want to hear all day about Blades Direct. But for the most part, we have a happy medium.
Okay. Rob, what?
Oh,
I'm looking at Rob, you guys, and Rob. All right, so
it
what were you
works out
thinking?
great. The truth is, if I'm too into the program and too into work, and Michelle doesn't want to hear about it, I can get yelled at, and that's when I know enough's enough. So you just
So
get
Michelle,
yelled at
what is
once.
Rob like? So I mean, is he strong-headed? Is he?
Oh, very strong-headed. When he has an idea, like we're running, we're going for it.
Okay. Because a lot of guys,
passionate.
a lot of gals, you're going to be married to a very strong-headed individual man, because as an entrepreneur, a guy that's willing to take on his own business, you've got to be ambitious, motivated, driven, willing to work harder than anybody else. You've got to be willing to go the extra mile. Rob, am I summing you up? Because I'm summing up every
1,000%. You have
every
to be.
entrepreneur that I've ever met that has ever succeeded, right?
Yeah.
Now, how many guys do you run right now? I mean, how big is your organization? So we get an idea.
About 30 guys and girls work with Blades Direct.
30 guys and girls, and just give me some ideas. Gross. What are you guys typically doing in a year?
Warehouse. Oh, as far as income?
So Blades Direct
Revenue?
is upwards of $5 million in sales per year.
Okay. So this kind of gives you, and the only reason I ask these guys, this is not going to be about business. It's going to be about, I want you guys to get a sense of where these guys are at, because you're managing 30 plus people every single day as a team. So when these guys are out there and they're managing people, they can go, hey, you know what? The strategies these guys are using to manage a $5 million business running 30 plus people, I can now implement to do this together. So we were talking about turning things off and managing a very strong-willed man. Is there any strategies for the gals watching out there to deal with something like that, or tell me about
He's
that?
strong, but I'm stronger. So he does. It's almost like I am his boss, because at the end of the day,
He's my boss.
He needs somebody too, as the owner and the top of the company, to bounce ideas off of. And it's very hard to talk about certain things with even a close employee or even our manager or an executive. So we talk about those things, and I listen to him. I'm kind of like his stress reliever too, because he can't really complain to another person at work, because he's the boss. So, but he could come home, he can complain to me. I kind of take the bits and pieces out of what's important, what's not, what we just move on from, or what we deal with, and it's been working.
That's key, Stanley.
That's key.
No complaining at work. We always keep a great attitude. people who are getting ahead, there's a saying, don't give up, don't ever give up. And that's really the truth. I'm speaking to the hardscape guys and the landscape guys, and it's a hardscape brotherhood, and I see these guys working so hard and building in their artwork, and they support us at Blades Direct, and we reach out to our customers and we speak to their wives and their gatekeepers, and they do amazing jobs protecting their husbands in the businesses, and we respect that as a business here. We know that we're speaking to family-run businesses. They're putting their heart, sweat, and tears into their companies. We know what it's about. We take it seriously. We appreciate, obviously, the opportunity to sell to companies like yours and everyone else here. It's been an amazing road.
Find the best product,
amazing
the best
road
price
for us.
So I want to get into how you built your business together in just a moment. But before we do that, because a lot of you guys, I'm going to share some of my experience because my wife is not as actively involved in our business as you are with
Don't
Rob.
say that. She's going to get ideas.
Okay, but for the guys out there that, they're out there, they're the head of the business.
Now I'm going to get yelled at.
And their wife is, their wife is the head of the household and maybe not as involved in the business. What I do with my wife is I use her as a consultant, as an outside consultant that can get a different perspective on the business. And it's so helpful. Like, I'll be dealing with stress, I'll be dealing with issues, and she won't be so intertwined with it that she can't remove herself from it. And so when I come home, I'll say, I need help. I need your opinion on this. And she'll just sit down and she'll listen. And when she talks, it's amazing. And what it does is it actually gets her involved more into what I'm doing. So it's like, it's the one way we come together without, okay, she's 9 to 5 inside my business. She's not, 9 to 5 inside my company. She's more of an outside consultant to help me.
Love that.
And she knows how I operate. So she's going to know how to speak to me, right?
Absolutely.
And so if your significant other, whether your wife runs the business and you're the guy that's, running the household, it doesn't matter. But this is a strategy that I use that works, and these guys have their own strategy. But now I actually want to talk about the Blades Direct story. How did you guys actually build this business from, was it 1999, did you say?
No, I got into the business in the late 90s. Had a lot of sales experience, a lot of construction tool experience. I met Michelle in the mid 2000s. We got married.
He forgets?
When you met me.
We got married. We started out on a new business venture together. We were able to hit the ground running. We got very lucky. We had an opportunity. We sold the business, and when we sold the business, we looked around and said,
what was that business?
We're in the marketing consulting business.
Okay.
We sold the business and we looked around and said, what could we do? We looked at everything. We looked at daycares. We looked at marketing companies, restaurants. And we realized that I have so much experience with the construction tool business, and that was really a passion of mine for many, 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 many years. So we thought, well, is this the time? Is this an opportunity? And we said, well, let's give it a shot.
Okay.
And we just thought, what would be the right business model? How do we start something that's meaningful, impactful within an industry, create a unique niche so that we have a competitive edge? And we chewed on it, and we looked at some of the competitors and what they're doing and how they're selling, and we thought we had a better way. And most of our competitors, they're this diamond company or that diamond company, and we realized that if we just went to manufacturers and made these exclusive, great deals, and then brought them to the customers direct, and here we are as Blades Direct, and from the very first customer to thousands and thousands and thousands of customers, a decade and 10, 15 years later, it's been a roller coaster and an amazing ride.
What is your business model? For guys that aren't familiar with Blades Direct, you guys have not an atypical business model.
Yeah, we have our
about
business
that.
model is this. So most of our competitors, most of the tools on the market locally, guys get phone calls on their phone. They're imported products. They're Chinese products. The company slaps a label on it. They call it their own. And what we found with that kind of product and business model, it's been a 50-50 proposition. We attempted that at first, and we found that half the customers were happy, and the other half the customers were not happy at all, or happy with what they had. And as a small business starting out, even growing to a mid-sized business company, losing half your customers is a bad deal. Unless you're Coke or Pepsi and you have half the world, 50% wasn't working. We went on a search we said, what do our customers really, really want? And our customers want name brand products that they can trust and believe in, that work great, and no sales pitch. So we about 5 years ago, we stumbled upon our product, this relationship with Samedia, which has been a game changer for us. They've branded a blade and tools for us, and I can show you. This is what everyone's been raving about. This is
the shocker.
This is the
This is kind of like the backbone of your guys' business,
right? Yeah.
Right?
Well, this is an example of the backbone of our business. So this particular tool, what the manufacturer's done, is put our logo on their tool right with them, because they trust us, they believe in us, they know what we're doing, that we're representing their tools right. So we bring in this product from Germany for some media overseas. We put it in the stores here in the United States and Canada, sell direct to customers, and it's no sales pitch. So our customers know they're buying. It's not just a blade with our name on it. They're buying a brand name tool with our logo on it, and that means they're getting premium products, they're getting an incredible experience, and they're getting a company that stands behind their product.
Okay, so you say a premium product, but I typically will buy your 12 blade package, and I will burn through those. I will burn through the saw before I burn through those 12 blades.
Yeah.
I mean, like literally, they hold up that well. So when we go to the shocker blade, that's like way above and beyond.
Yeah,
anything.
it's cream of the crop. So we've met a lot of customers out here. One of our hardscape crews came about 8 guys deep yesterday. They came into the booth. They were looking around. They said, what specials are we running? They wanted to know the deals. They wanted to know they had some new tools. They wanted some pricing on. And we said, we're running great deals on the shocker blade today. And he said, well, guys, how many do we have left? He said, well, we still have 8 left from the box of 12 we got 2 years ago. And I said, well, we're doing really great deals still.
So one of the things that, the reason I met you guys in the first place is you guys called me, but I happen to I go through, a fair amount of blades, and I was always kind of PO'd. I was pissed off, I'll be honest with you, because I would spend $250 on a blade, and I would burn through it, and then one of your guys called me, and I'm like, fine, send me out 12 blades. I figured I was getting 12 junk blades, right? But I wanted the saw. I needed a saw. I'm like, all right, I'll burn through those 12 junk blades, but I got myself a free saw. Score. Yeah, well, I burned through the saw, and I still had 6-7 blades left. And I'm like, holy crap. All right, I wore a saw out before I wore out these blades, but then you guys called again. I bought another 12 blade package because I needed the saw. I burned out my saw. Now I've got like 10 blades left and I'm burning through the second saw. So the blades that you guys are using are actually really high quality blades. And then you amp it up to this thing, and it's like, that thing will last us months and months on end.
That's the game changer, Stan.
That is a good saw, and that's why we have our relationship.
Yeah, we worked extremely hard, bringing in an amazing.
But you guys do more than just these blades, don't you? Don't you do grinder blades too? If I remember right.
Yeah. So we're blades direct. So
you've expanded your whose idea was that to expand the offering? Was this something you guys worked on together?
No.
There's definitely, everybody has a different price point, a different goal in mind, a different sweet spot. Mm-hmm. So we want to have something for everybody's sweet spot.
Okay.
And whether you want a more premium blade, you want a segmented blade, you want a
10-inch tile blade, a 7-inch quarter-inch
you
stick.
need something custom, we want to be able to get that for you.
Okay.
And in a quick amount of time.
All right, so let me see one of the...
Stan, I actually had one thought. You were asking about how the relationship works. And as you asked, well, what other products you have, we both started speaking at the same time. But I know from experience, and this is important to the guys out there, that if your partner or your wife starts at the same time, you probably want to let her speak first. Well, it's not good you don't want to always over speak and always over talk. This is your partner has something important to say, and usually it's smart and right. So just know when to kind of.
I absolutely love that. Actually, thanks, Rob, because I forget my manners a lot of times, and an apology goes a long way. You know, you got to introduce your wife first. You've got to always make sure you include her. I like the decision, just the way you speak when you're speaking to other people. Remember, now, Michelle, I don't mean to, you tell me if I'm wrong, but what my wife has corrected me on is saying it's we, not me. You got to remove the me from my vocabulary, and it's we. We own this.
Right.
We do this
Absolutely.
together. And guys, if your wife hasn't been saying this to you, your significant other, just start to try to be conscious of being more considerate of all aspects of even your dialogue, of your daily interaction. Remember, your wife is not, your significant other is not the person that is your dumping ground. They are not there to hear all of your problems. They are there to support you. They are there to balance you out and build you up. But if all you're doing is dumping on them, they're not going to be able to help you fulfill your role. Am I right or wrong on this, or what do you guys think?
Absolutely. Women just want to feel, they want to feel like they're half or even like they're 60%. So even if they're half, treat them like they're 60, 70%. Make them feel comfortable, make them feel needed, make them feel wanted. And you know what? I think you're going to get a great return on that because they're more invested. They feel like they're more important. And they're going to go 150% for your business.
I agree. All right, you guys. These are the Blades Direct guys. I want to thank you guys so much. I know this was not a topic that Rob and Michelle wanted to tackle. We had to do a little bit of talking on that one, you know? Rob's like, really? That's what you want to cover? I'm like, yeah, Rob, because I think this is something that a lot of guys are facing.
Wants to cover it.
Right. Did you want to cover it?
I think it's a great idea.
Okay.
I think it's a great idea.
Good.
There are so many people even walking around with their wives, and they're the trigger pullers, and
Yeah,
you know, we
very
all have our
important.
strengths. So this is great talk.
It's
Great.
important. Behind every good guy, there's a strong guy in strong business. There's a good or great, even stronger woman. So that's always the case.
True.
All right, you guys, that's all we got for today. Rob, Michelle, thank you
Check us out
so
at
much.
bladesdirect.net.
There you go, you guys.
Saw deal.
God bless you guys. Go get them. And while you're here, remember there's that bell notification. You got to hit that and then hit the subscribe and share button. That would be awesome. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. A little off the beaten path of what we do, but this was something that I honestly really hardcore wanted to cover. And you guys were perfect for this. Your story, how you built your business, the story of how you guys come together and work together, and the trials, tribulations, everything was great. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
And check out the video I'm going to put up here. And the one I'm going to put up here, that's all I got for you today, guys. We'll see you on the next one. All right. So their booth is getting busy, but you said something that I really want to drive.
Yeah, for the husband and wives out there, and we truly respect what you're doing. And if you get a call from Blades Direct, we reach out, and we're not. If we really want to, we really value the relationship. We know what's going on. We're always looking to do the right thing. But for the husband and wives out there, one of the dynamics that we were always aware of with Blades Direct, with outside partners or outside investors, is that what I've learned early on, someone once told me, when you start a business and bring in partners, usually one partner will come with the money and one partner will come with the experience. And then when you end the business, usually one partner will leave with the money and one partner will leave with the experience. And so working with your wife, with your significant other, guys and late husbands and wives out there, that whole dynamic is taken away, so you can really trust and lean on your partner and know you both have the same interest, which is in building the business and in working for your customers and doing the right thing, and that dynamic of what else is these outside influences doing, it's gone. So it's made a big difference for us in Blades Direct, so we wanted to share that one thought.